guys, welcome back to a new video on the channel. It is me shooting today, not Cam. It's very a lot rawer, whereas what I'm going to do this week is basically run through a whole training week. What I'm going to do personally to get better at Hyrox for this year, coming into world champs in Sweden that's just been announced. The better I can be for that, the better it is. So yeah, this week is going to be a run through of my sessions, what they look like, and not just a few snippets, obviously, like I've been doing with Cam. Yeah, so this week is going to go through a whole lot of training in detail, breaking up what the session looks like, what the session detail is, and also almost like a week that you guys could actually give a week to and train like, and see how you get on, like training like myself and training how I train. It might suit you really well. Obviously, my clients that I have on coaching wise, they're the same. They have a great understanding of what their week looks like. It's all bespoke to them, so that's something that you're going to get an insight to what my week looks like training, and hopefully you enjoy it. But I'm just on the way to the gym now, doing uppers, but then I'm also going to be doing a little bit of conditioning just to get back into that. It's 3 weeks post Cardiff, so 3 weeks into the pre-season now, and things are going well so far. Feel like I'm trying to pick up the weights again, which is good. And it's just a matter of making sure that I feel strong again, which is something I didn't feel that strong in May, just because I was training and racing that much conditioning wise. I felt like I actually deflated a little bit in shape and size. So gonna hit an upper session now, and then gonna get into some conditioning after that. But it is an unbelievable day. Like, how hot is it now? Like, in the car it's saying it's 22 degrees. It feels like that, and I've got this jacket on, I'm sweating, but it is the track jacket from Represent. So if you guys want anything from Rep as well, and you'll find the link in the description if you want to shop anything from 247. Enough from me now, let's get to the gym and get into this session. Let's go. So the aim of today's session is pretty much hit the weights like you want to, back in that lifting of building as much muscle as possible while getting as fit as possible. So this is probably week 3 in terms of pre-season. Obviously I've had 1 week off before, straight after Cardiff, and then we went into week 2 pretty much just chilling, and then this week I want to hit it hard. So today is this session now with that conditioning after, like I mentioned in the car, and then going to be heading over to some intervals tomorrow down the track, which will be really good to set you guys on as well. The main focus now though, lifting this weight with control, and that's one thing I think I'm guilty of when I was younger. Never really used to lift it as well, because I'd rather I can lift this weight really fast, but actually having that control of bringing it down, really being able to control the concentric and the eccentric is really important. So the more I can do that now, it's going to help me through it, actually get stronger, especially with this new turf that's come in, and people saying how, like, if you don't get it right, it's just going to grip like mad. So I really want to work on my leg strength, my upper strength, and just bring an overall physique that you boys can actually see and be like, right, I want to be able to train like this, but yet still be as fit and run good times in my 5Ks. Going to talk about my next race in the next bit of the video, but just going over that, it's a matter of, if you can get into these races, now we're in the off season, if you can find a race that you want to do and like work on, you're going to be able to then get better doing that. In terms of pacing for Hyrox, pacing for knowing you'll get setting benchmarks at the start of summer, and then do them again at the end of summer, and then realising, right, this is the work I need to do, this is how I'm going to improve, and we'll go from there. Let's get into the session. Weights-wise, I find them so boring, I can't lie. I know they're staple that need to happen in the foundation and all that, but like, When I was younger and I used to do weights all the time, I used to love it, yeah. Now that I do Hyrox, it's just nothing compares to actually like any kind of conditioning. I feel like I get so much more out of it as well. So yeah, gonna get into the session now in terms of the conditioning part. It's gonna be 400 meters run, 400 meters ski, 400 meters row. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll know exactly the workout I've already put on there before. You're giving it a go and let me know what your thoughts were. 30 minutes worth of work, and it's just as many rounds as possible that I can do in that time. The last time I did it, I did it for 40 minutes, but on a bit of a tighter schedule today. So yeah, 30 minutes worth of work. Let's see how it goes, let's go. Yes guys, good morning, it is Tuesday. As you can see down the track now. So this session today is pretty testing. I've got a 5k race next week, I think, yeah, 26th of June. So for that race, it's gonna be my best effort that I can do. My current 5k PB is 19:58, which I got down at Parkrun in Cardiff in my 70.3 prep. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch I think it's a week in the life that I did actually. Earlier in the channel on the 70.3 one. I think you can find it in the playlist or whatever. But yeah, that was there. So this week is all about trying to see how fast I can go on that and see how well we can do in that race. But for this session today is basically finding the pace that I'm gonna have to run at and see what we can do. So in today's session, gonna have a quick warm up now, and then it's 1k at 350 pace, 10 times 400 meters at 330 pace, back into 1k at 350 pace. All with, I think the first one is 2-minute rest after the first K, then it's 60 seconds rest after each 400 meters. So yeah, gonna be brutal, gonna see how we get on. All wearing at the moment the track jacket again from Rep, one of my favourite jackets. I picked this up from Rep the other day, absolutely love it. And then going in with my race shorts as well. And then the 247 cap, which is one of the cleanest caps I've actually ever worn. So yeah, take all of that, and then I'm running as well in the race socks along with the Puma 247 trainers as well. That is the fit. Wait, there's the sun. That is the fit. Let's get into this session. That is 8.420 meters done. Very hot, sweaty session. Hit every single pace that I wanted to hit. 400 meters. 1:30 and below each time. I think I only hit 1:30 on one. I think that was like the 6th or 7th one. After that I was like, I'm not letting that go any slower. So yeah, a good few seconds were knocked off that each time. So yeah, happy with that. This is what I absolutely love, like this track is literally grew up around here, so it's good. I was on this track for when I was like 10, 11, sprinting and stuff, so, and then didn't run for a very long time, and then obviously now getting back into it again, it's quite cool. But yeah, literally no one's here, just me, my dad and his mate, Scotty. Very good, and now get back, recover, and got an erg session on plan for this evening. So that is 1k at 350 pace, is a 10 times 400 meters at 330 pace, 2 minutes rest, back into 1k at 350 pace, and then a couple of laps cool down. But overall, good session. Get back and rehydrate. Let's go. Yo guys, so just on the way now to a second session of the day. Obviously it's Tuesday, track this morning, really happy with that. I was speaking to my coach and we were talking about basically how last month and fatigue, mental, physical fatigue going into Cardiff did affect obviously my outcome of the race. So now that I'm getting these results in this track session this morning shows that fatigue's starting to leave, which is good. So I'm starting to see my real fitness come through, which is exactly what we want to see. Now, and today's session that we're going to now is an erg session. I'll go into more detail when we get to the gym, but it's absolutely boiling, and I'm kind of regretting putting a jumper on, to be honest with you. But I'm also one of those people that doesn't want to turn up to the gym just in a tank. I always train Hyrox in a tank anyway, because I sweat so much. Like, I don't know about you guys, but sweating is, yeah, it's just ridiculous. So always go in that, and I'm also trying in these shorts, like the 2-in-1 ones, just to see if I'd wear them on a race day. So I've had a few questions recently about like music in the gym and like what music do I listen to. I don't know if this is really weird, but like you'll probably tell from my Instagram, I absolutely love like Travis Scott music, like Fiend and things like that. I think it's just, the beat is sick. So listen to a lot of that. And also, I actually started to get into that house music now. One thing that you guys might not know is I've never been like to, how do you call it, a concert or, concert or like, I've never been on a boys' holiday for one. When I was younger, I'd always played rugby. So I'd always played rugby, so I played for Worcester Warriors and things like that. So in the early days of doing content creation, that's what I used to like make videos on, was like training exercises to help you with rugby and stuff like that. It's quite funny. I don't suggest you go and scroll down to TikTok because it's pretty embarrassing. But if that's what I got into at the very beginning. So I was always playing rugby, so I could never, afford the time to go away on these holidays. I don't really drink. I had my first alcoholic drink when I was like 18. Never really bothered me, still doesn't. I'm teetotal this year. Like, I think the last drink I had was New Year's Eve, I think, which was literally like a vodka lemonade. If I was to have a drink, it'd be a vodka lemonade, but yeah, never really fazed me to do that. And it's never really bothered me. I think it started, when I first did have a drink was at university, and more in the initiations. I think you give it 3 weeks of going out on a Wednesday, and I was like, this isn't really for me. So I go out on the odd occasion, like I went out the other night, but didn't drink. Like, it just doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, that's by the by. But music-wise, now actually getting into like house music as well, which is quite cool. So getting into that. Josh Baker, love his kind of music as well. But yeah, Travis Scott is the one. When I was younger, DBE was cool as well. So just made it into the gym now. Gonna warm up, and then it's a simple session, 8 times 500 meters per one on the ski. 148 per 500, like I said in the car. So it's just a matter of hitting that each time. Go a little bit faster, even better. But I'll be happy to stick to that. Working on stroke rate, working on form and technique. So I'll take you guys through all that as well. And we'll go from there. But yeah, just warming up on the assault bike now, get the legs spinning, heart rate up. I do find on the ski that if you don't warm up properly, it will affect you a lot, and then you actually can't get your breath back. And even in recovery, you can't get your breath back. So it's important to make sure that you do that properly. And yeah, on here, 5 minutes, and then do some stretching, and then get into the session and get out of here. Session done and wrapped up, session 2 of the day. Matter of making sure that I hit the numbers that I need to hit. Another day complete. Get home, get some food in, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Let's go. Yes guys, good morning. It is Wednesday. Heading to the gym now to train lowers. Calf's a little bit tight from the track, so luckily it is just legs today and no other running. So no double sessions involved today. Yet again, I am in the track jacket, which is probably my favourite part of one of my favourite jackets at the moment that I'm actually wearing. I also want to show you something. So in the recent stories I've done on Instagram, my god, it's hot. I've had a load of questions about, oh, how have you filmed this on your story or whatever of me driving. So this is what I've been using. So for the boys of you that actually want to use, I've got yoga on my phone, but for the boys of you that want to film content, I've used, it's like a suction cup, and you'll see I've been using it on the DJI for when I've been driving, and I've been talking to the camera. You can get it off Amazon. I think it's like 15-20 quid, and honestly it's been sick. So stick it to anything. Like obviously I've got a pan roof, so I can stick it to that window. I'm trying it on this angle now, but yeah, just a bit of an insight to see like how I get the content, but that's only because I've had a few questions of yours. Let's do a start up, see if the S3 is going to make a noise today. See, it sounds so much better in person, but from behind, like, you can hear it, do you know what I mean? Right, we'll take that. I've only recently got into cars. Well, I say recently, probably a year and a bit. Like watching like Matt Armstrong and people like that. So yeah, it's been cool getting into cars and that. And obviously this is an Audi S3. I think it's 330 brake horsepower. It's a Vorsprung edition. If any of you haven't seen the channel before when I picked this car up, you can see that on the channel as well. But yeah, no, I do love it. But yeah, anyway, gonna head to the gym now, and then I'll catch you there. Let's get it. Warm up on squats to start, and I'll break down the session as we go ahead. This session is compound to start, and then going to single leg movements, bulletproof in the calf, bulletproof in your legs singly, just to make sure that like you don't pick up silly injuries from doing more volume, especially in this off season now, because we're going to be running a hell of a lot more than, yeah, just running a lot, and like the volume is just going to get up. Like last week was 42k straight off the bat, so you know, picking it up, I want to be hitting around 60-70k a week. Realistically, that'd be quite cool for that, especially that 5k next week as well. I want to make sure I go into that fresh, and yeah, hopefully go a PB. But let's get into this session and see where we go from there. That is now training complete. Food wise for lunch, as you can see, probably not the best looking thing ever, but the macros are unbelievable. So obviously two bagel thins, which is one bagel, so what, 256 calories. Obviously it feels like more, looks like more. 5 eggs and the chicken slices from Aldi. We love Aldi for literally everything. Food wise, we'll always shop there. And yeah, it's fantastic for that. But just making sure that you actually like fuel yourself enough for these sessions. So I've just posted on Instagram like a double day of training, like track yesterday and then conditioning. And like it gets heavy, do you know what I mean? Like you are gonna burn the calories. And like when clients come to me for hybrid hub and stuff, and they're like, oh, I want to get in all this shape, like drop all this body fat. By the way, I've been eating 2,000 calories. Like that is nowhere near enough to fuel your body to grow muscle and do that at the same time and perform. Like I'm finding that I'll fuel my sessions properly and I'll actually get a hell of a lot more out of it than I would if I was fasted. So that's always something to consider. So looking over this week of training so far, my numbers of, you know, how I'm running and how I'm being able to train are improving, because your actual fitness is coming out now and it's not like that fatigued fitness. That makes sense. So that's something I've actually learned a hell of a lot since doing training and stuff. The sun is behind me, so the camera's gonna be really dark. But yeah, so that's one thing I've actually really noticed. So I'm actually a lot fitter than I thought I was. In Cardiff, for instance, I am, you know, literally got to sled push. I was like, this is not my day, one bit. But I'd like to think if I did that race again, same track, etc., it would feel 10 times better, definitely. But the goals going into the next few weeks and months are obviously for Hyrox wise is 5Ks, 10Ks. So 5K next week. Can try and set a good PB on that one and see what we can do. And then I've got a few 10k races that I really need to knuckle down on as well. 10k races are really good for your pacings in Hyrox. So if you can get an idea of what your 10k time is, then you're going to get an idea of how good you are running and how good you are at making sure that you can try and stick to those around those paces for your actual event. And obviously coming off stations is different, so it's how you can then recover to do those. The next 2 months are probably going to really start to add up in terms of station work, because then I'm going to hopefully try and get tickets for Birmingham. So if any of you are watching this and you're not doing Birmingham, please let me know, and I'll have your ticket off you if it's pro solo, just to see what I've done so far. And then the next race will probably be London. 1 lap course would be unbelievable. So if I can get tickets to that too, then yeah, definitely try and aim for that one as well. I might even do a doubles Rio if you fancy it. If you're watching this, mate, I'm game for that. But that is the next few months lined up in terms of what we're looking to do to end this year. Goals outside of that, which I think that's one thing I don't want this channel to be. I don't just want to talk about fitness. Granted, it's difficult because that is all I do. Like, don't really go out, don't really do certain things, but I am going to be starting to do different things where I can bring you guys more along, and you'll start to realise this. It's when you do like a fitness page and you start all that, you think like just post fitness, but And it is hard because people don't actually realise this. It is hard to like post outside of that, because either you don't do a lot of it like me, like I don't really, like I told you before guys, like I don't drink, I don't do all that kind of stuff. But you know, if I go out, sometimes it's hard to kind of capture those stuff as well. But that's something I'm really working on. And the more you do this and like talk to the camera, like me, if you watch my first couple of YouTube videos, I would never been able to do this now. Like walk down the lane, yes there's nobody here, but actually walk down the lane and talk to the camera and actually hold a conversation, because all I'm doing is pretending this is like my friend or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm being able to talk to you guys at home. There is someone behind this screen realistically, because you're watching it, so that's what you have to kind of get your mind in. So anyone who wants to start YouTube or anything like that, try and aim to, you know, the more you talk on your stories, the better you'll get, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, trying to show what I actually do outside of gym is difficult, because I don't always do that. The more you can actually show, the better you are for it. So the next thing in line for me, and I can't wait to bring you guys on that journey, and you'll see really soon what that's going to be. I want to keep that under wraps for now. But yeah, at the moment, training, might look to book a trip or two away, just to get some warm weather training, even though the weather's absolutely unbelievable now. Some warm weather training outside of the UK would be pretty cool. This time, when I was trying to think when I went, yeah, so when I did my 70.3, it was what, January time 2024, I went to Marbella, and it was literally so nice, but wasn't warm whatsoever. I think there actually is a video on that on the channel. It wasn't warm whatsoever, it was just different location, got some good runs in there and stuff. So that's something I'm probably going to look to do going over these months into summer. But then yeah, so pretty exciting times for that. And it's just a matter of enjoying it. Like I said in the episode 1 of this new series, it's not like we're an elite 15 athlete, and it's, you know, it's one of them, it's like trying to bridge the gap between your best athlete and a beginner, and show you from day one all up until as high as I can go, the level that you can get to if you put your mind to it. Granted, people have, you know, 9-to-5 jobs, and I have so much respect for you guys that do that, because obviously I'm working doing this, and it allows me to train more or train hard or whatever, and obviously you guys are doing your jobs and then doing your training as well. So yeah, hats off to you lot. But just trying to show the graft and stuff like that basically, and how we can keep building, get fitter, and even just to push my own potential. Like I use YouTube as a to document my training, so I can look back in, you know, years to come, like, right, I was here at this point and now I'm here. So that's something I'm looking for, and obviously if it's helping you guys to push on and get training, and obviously the more sessions I can put out, if you guys use it or whatever, like on TikTok, you know, you'll see that's part of my coaching as well. So my clients get exposure to good sessions I've tested to make sure, you know, it's doing what it needs to do, and that's the whole point of it. But just going to finish off my steps now, aim for about 10k steps a day, and then have some food. It was an absolutely unbelievable day. This is the track that I'm going to be racing on next week, and I'm going to run around now. So it's 0.9 of a mile, so whatever that is in K's, I will have to work out, because I don't work in miles, I work in kilometres anyway. Absolutely roasting though. It's just annoying I can't use the track really, but one of those things you've got to get over in it. So yeah, gonna get on this now, probably be good for my calves actually, and then yeah, see what we can do. But the session is 12 kilometres in total, 2k warm up, and then 5 lots of each k. So it's 355 pace, 1k into 410 or 420 pace the next k, 5 times repeats. So all in all 12k. It's just working on being able to hold on that time, then recover, then hold on, recover, and just keep pushing it through. So that's what we're going to do. Let's get into it. So that is warm up complete. It's pretty far to run round, but I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. The numbers might not be amazing on Strava, whatever, but at least I know what the course is kind of going to be like next week. It goes round there and then down and then up a little bit of a gradient. I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to cut off. There's like little bits where you can cut off, so I'm going to do that and see if we can go there. It's annoying because it's not ideal, but it's just one of the things, isn't it? But yeah, that's 2k warm up done. I'm going to stretch now, activate my calves, because that's one thing I'm struggling with. Is I think those issues I had previously, it's just because my calves just aren't good with volume. And yeah, so it's something we're just going to have to work on. But the fit today is race shorts from Represent as always, and the race socks. You can't see them, let's have a look. The race socks, the cap, and then shades are from High Stride, Coach Josh H, if you want to pick any of these up. Honestly, they beat the, you know, the really expensive Oakleys, they beat all of them, so definitely have a look at that. But pretty much that is the fit. Let's get this session over and done with. That is one of the hardest sessions I've done, because the actual session isn't that hard, but just the terrain and how I'm running on it. Yeah, and it's so hot as well. But my mindset is definitely getting stronger, because so many times I wanted to pull up there, so many times, because it's not the right track, you know. I'm not hitting the exact pace I would normally be hitting, and these are all external factors as well, so, you know, you just got to do it and get on with it, and now I've completed it, and I feel unbelievable. So this is a message that if whoever you want to quit, don't quit, just get it done. You know, do what you can, and that's what we've done today. So yeah, it's a win either way. I don't know if you can see that, but 54 minutes, 4:25 pace average. Obviously it takes up your warm-up and stuff as well, and then 12.25k with a few squiggly lines. That was probably, well no, definitely up there. What, Tuesday's session was difficult because of the nature of it, and then this session today, just due to the nature of it as well, like having to come off the, obviously can't use the track and just have to work it around something like this, and it's so hot as well. So I'm in and around the paces I want to be at, so I'll take it. I think if I was on the track it obviously would be faster, but either way, session was done at third interval, just finished the fast one. I was like, right, I'll call it now. I'm absolutely knackered, but what do you get from that? Like, that's what I'm realising, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't just quit a Hyrox race. Well, you can quit a Hyrox race, but obviously if you want to finish it, you've got to finish it, haven't you? So it's yeah, it's just building that mindset, especially in the weather like this as well. Like, it's all things that can test you. So yeah, happy with that. I can get back. I've got another session this afternoon, some Metcon. It's quite an interesting one. It's a burner by the looks of it, so I'll see you later on. Let's go. Yo, so it's the final session of the week pretty much. Obviously on the weekend I'll have like running and stuff to do. I've got a Hyrox session on the Saturday, but I feel like we've gone over quite a lot this week in terms of training sessions, and I want to be able to edit this to actually give you guys a good enough understanding of what we're getting up to, and outside of just training, and, you know, obviously having good chats like we did yesterday and stuff. So today is the final session that you guys are going to see. I can always like film that extra session, and like, it'll be on my Instagram and stuff anyway, so you'll be able to see all of that. It's just obviously giving myself time to make sure that these videos are good enough quality that you can actually understand and enjoy them. So that's what we've got today. Just going to run through the session. So this morning's session was absolutely brutal, and I was sweating so much, like sweat everything off. Like, I've had a nap since went home, had a nap. That's literally me every single day at the moment. Come home, nap, go and train again. So today's session is a Metcon. It's 5 rounds of time at a hard effort. So assault bike, 3 minutes 30 on there, 50 to 60 calories, not asking for a lot whatsoever. 20 thrusters, so 15 kg in each hand, and then 10 burpees to bar with a bar touch. So it'd be good to see what we can do on that one. It's just, yeah, 5 rounds, pretty much as fast as I can. Calves are tight. I think that's one thing I really have learned. They're not very good with volume, so it's something we need to work on, just because weeks and weeks are going to be ramping up in terms of how far we're going to be running, and it's just a matter of being able to actually do that. And the more that I can run and not have tight calves, the better and fitter I can be. I've got 16k on Sunday to achieve. Obviously I did 18k last week, so probably be about 18k again this week. But I think it's just a matter of hitting the same paces with a lower heart rate, lower perceived exertion, like, so a lower effort basically, and all of that too. But yeah, let's get into the session and get over here, because I'm pretty tired and I'm very hungry. Warm up done. There's a massive fan here. You can't hear me very well, that is why. I'm going to put the air bike right in front of that, because I feel like that's actually going to give me a bit of life saving. So yeah, we'll do that. Let's get into it. Session complete, 42 minutes in total. If you want to dive, definitely try that session. Thrusters, just never, even when I did CrossFit, like they've just never been a favourite of mine at all. I think anyone likes them today, but that's twice a day. I'd be like, right, I've got the session short. Like, it's just horrible, just absolutely horrible. But I know that if I, keep going and do the work, that session, sessions like that stack up. Days and days like that stack up where you want to give up, and then when you come to the race and I don't know, I'm in the lunges and I'm like, well, I've done the work now. And those are the sessions that if I'd have missed them, those two last sets or whatever, then yeah, I would have wouldn't have been anywhere good on the lunges, because I've done those 2 sessions on the lunges. Now I'm going to fly through, get to the wall balls are going to pass, and then I'm going to be able to get PBs or improve my race overall. So yeah, I'm happy with that session. That is pretty much a 4 week of training complete. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and yeah, remember to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go.